The Johnski is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Milts freaking today, militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at not a new figure, but a figure that is severely underrated, or of a character that is severely underrated that I think needs just a little bit more attention. That being the recently sort of released within the last year, that being of the Star Wars The Vintage Collection, Lobot. So real quick, let's just take a quick look at the card back here. At the top we have the Empire Strikes Back trades, all looking all nice. We have a orange backing for the Lobot insignia and the back of the figure itself. Counter trades down at the corner, and a nice photo of Lobot looking very angry and bald at the same time. So good for Lobot. On the back here, we have the other figures released sort of around the same time, that being Lobot himself, Queel, who I have, Bib, who I will have at some point, Mithril, who's a very good figure, Lando, who I have, Bo, who I have, the Rebel Soldier, who I don't really care to get him, and IG-11, who I also have. Down here you have some legal jargon, VC223, which is a good caliber, and that's about it. Like I say in every video, it's basically the same card every time. You only really care about it if they are a carded collector, of which I am not. Let's get on to the figure. Freeze frame.
Oh yeah? What's about to happen again?
Freeze frame unfreeze, and there is Lobot himself. And real quick, let's just take a zoom in. Firstly, you will recognize that the face printing on this figure is absolutely phenomenal. The only thing that I think is that I think the face looks just a little bit younger than it should, but it is perfectly printed, and it fools my camera whenever I point my camera at it. It thinks it's a real face, so it counts in that regard. I do think it's perfect, though. I think that they did very well on the printing, and from some angles it looks just absolutely perfect with the contours on his face, making this look like the real actor. You also have some very tiny but very good painted details on the implant that he has on his head, the cybernetic implant, which goes all the way around, little red dots under the tan panels, and little buttons and gizmos and stuff like that to help Lobot control all of Cloud City. He looks absolutely fantastic. The head sculpt is supreme. The rest of the figure, it's okay. He's kind of got a gray jumpsuit going on here with some puffy pirate shirt sleeves sticking out, which, I mean, it's kind of goofy, but it's fine. He has some other paintings, some mechanical gizmos on his either this belt, or I'm not sure, this might be another implant. I'm not quite sure, but it goes all the way around. It's painted all the way around, so it looks very nice. Some mild sculpting around his butt and stuff like that. Pants crumpling up around his waist, all that. And some bell bottoms, as well as some schwanky shoes there, making this look like a true late 70s, early 80s kind of character. I think this figure looks fantastic. As for the articulation, Lobot does have a very good dumbbell joint at the head, so he can do the and he can do it really well too. He can even do the wow, he is very good at insing. He's very good at it. Full 360 at the shoulder, as well as an in and out. You have no upper bicep swivel, but you do have a very good elbow bend, which is very deep. It can also double as a swivel here. There's another swivel at the wrist. It can go all the way around, as well as, interestingly enough, an up and down joint on the left hand, and an up and down joint on the right hand as well. So both of the hands have an up and down joint, which is something we're not used to with any figure, really. It's usually either an up and down on this one, and an in and out on this one, or an up and down on this one, and an in and out on that one. But they're both up and downs, so there you go. That's cool. You have a ball joint at the waist, so he can get his reps in. He's not very good at sit-ups, but he's getting better. Nothing at the waist itself, though. Completely static at the hips. You do have mind the angle here, two hinges. So like the oldish style of hip joints. So not quite ball joints yet, but they are different than we are used to seeing, at least in my opinion. They're like a sort of a, how do I put this? A variant of what we'd usually see with a hinged hips vintage collection figure. Very interesting to see, but anyway, it can go out and forward, and then you just rotate at the upper thigh to get the figure to have a kick outwards, and then rotate it to get it to go back down. As I just mentioned, there's an upper thigh cut, as well as a hinge, single hinge at the knee. There is a hinge at the ankle, and no ankle pivot, so no dynamic poses for Lobot. Overall, he does have pretty basic articulation. It's nothing super fancy, but I do think it's pretty good, at least for what the figure is. If you're getting Lobot, it's because you're getting him for a display, and he looks fantastic. He can move if he needs to, but he fulfills everything you're going to need him to if you're a super huge Lobot fan, that is. And let's actually, before we do the size comparison, take a look at the single accessory that the Lobot comes with. It's just a nice weathered-looking E11. This is the new mold of the E11 that comes with the Stormtroopers. He can hold it in his right hand, just like that. Just like that. So you can take back Cloud City from the Empire. Very good looking E11. I must admit, I might give this to one of my Stormtroopers, but that's about that. So without further ado, let's get on to the size comparison so we can see how Lobot stacks up to some other figures. Freeze frame.
You know, my phone's telling me to take shelter right now, but like, work is more important, you know?
Freeze frame unfreeze. Now here is Lobot next to his boss, the peg-warming Supreme Master himself, Lando Calrissian, also known as King of Swag, also known as King of Capes, also known as Yeehaw. Here is Lobot also next to the man in which he may or may not have accidentally betrayed, Han Solo from The Empire Strikes Back, with his Bespin outfit. As you can see, they're both taller than him by far. And let's bring in Mr. The Deal Has Been Altered, Pray I Do Not Alter It Further himself, Darth Vader, who I will stick standing behind both of them, and who you can tell is tall. Very tall. They look awesome next to each other. This is an accurate size comparison between Billy D and the actor of Lobot in real life, so this works perfectly. They look good next to each other. Who would have thunk? Freeze frame.
Hey, Palpatine.
Yes, Darth Vader.
If you don't jump down there, you're gay.
Bet.
Freeze frame unfreeze. Now, I think that this figure is absolutely phenomenal. He just fell over. But this figure is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it looks perfect in every way, even though it's a super basic, gray and white color scheme. The face sculpt is amazing. The accessory is not too overstated. I'm not one to shill, but I do think that this figure is absolutely fantastic. I think Lobot's extremely underrated. I'm of the minority opinion who believes that the Lando Calrissian isn't the traitorous, betraying scoundrel that Robot Chicken portrays him as. He and Lobot definitely had a plan to fight the Empire the entire time. And because the deal was altered, I'm pointing to Vader off screen, Han Solo was unfortunately caught in the crossfire. Shit happens. But what I'm not overanalyzing is how good this figure is. It's nothing supreme like the golden standard of action figures himself, but it is pretty good in its own right. I do believe it's better than, say, some of the more recent figures like the Deluxe Boba Fett that we've gotten, which really did kind of miss a mark where it should have been an absolute slam dunk. The details on this figure are phenomenal. The articulation's alright, but that's not really going to matter in the long run. Lobot isn't a character that you're going to have throwing punches, shooting blasters, and all that stuff. He's going to be the guy in the background. He's like Lando's partner. He's like Nine Numb in Episode 6. He's just Lando's partner in Episode 5. So, anyway, my friends, if you like Lobot, Cloud City, Star Wars Vintage Collection, any of that good stuff, make sure you share this video with all your Facebook groups, with all your friends, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill by now. If you enjoy the content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate every single one of you. And as always, my friends, peace.